Begin tonight with the Los Angeles Buccaneers of the National Football League. Relax, Tampa. This was in 1926. Yes, the Los Angeles Buccaneers and the Los Angeles Wildcats and the Los Angeles Maroons and the Los Angeles Bulldogs and the new Los Angeles Bulldogs and the Los Angeles Mustangs and the second Los Angeles Wildcats and the Los Angeles Dons and the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers and the Los Angeles Express and the Los Angeles Raiders and the Los Angeles Cobras and the Los Angeles Dragons and the Los Angeles Avengers and the Los Angeles Extreme and the Los Angeles Kiss and, of course, the Los Angeles Texans. But especially the Los Angeles Texans, because the last time we went through all of this, that was basically the end result. No, there never was a pro football team in Los Angeles called the Texans, but the franchise we now know as the Houston Texans was provisionally awarded first to L.A. in 1999, and then the city and the league so screwed it up that the expansion rights were revoked and given instead to Houston. Hello. In the last 96 hours, we've had a series of cloudbursts on the subject of putting another NFL franchise in L.A. All such previous football weather events have been as unfamiliar, as shocking, as loud, and ultimately as meaningless as the winter rains in Southern California or the Los Angeles Texans. First Commissioner Goodell said he'd like to see the league back in L.A. in a super stadium, like the Niners' new one in Santa Clara. Thinks maybe now it could happen. Then Bob Kraft of the Patriots said he would like to see an NFL team in L.A., creating a second story, one that seems to ignore and discount his equally batty idea that he would also like to see an NFL franchise in England. Then Marcus Allen said he thinks the Raiders could move back there, what with the Oakland City Council basically giving the Coliseum to the A's and all. Then the LA Times reported yesterday that the possibility of a new Los Angeles team, or maybe teams, could rest on a new stadium ownership model in which the league builds the ballpark and makes its money back by staging a Super Bowl there every 5 years and charging an existing franchise or two an arm and a leg to move there, and then either taking in rent or sharing all the revenue streams with the owners. Well, that's worth a look because, frankly, everything else the NFL has ever tried in L.A. has later rather than sooner failed. The original 1926 team, the Buccaneers, they never played a regular season home game in L.A. The L.A. Coliseum Commission had a ban on professional teams using their sacred collegiate ground. Yes, seriously, this was what people thought of pro football in 1926. 20 years later, the ban ended, and there were the Dons of the All-America Conference and the Rams, who swept in from Cleveland. But the first Dons game in the Coliseum drew exactly 19,000 fans. 19,000 fans in a 102,000-seat stadium. Looked like the raisins in a bowl of rice pudding. The Dons were doomed. Even the Rams, and the year they moved in, they were the defending NFL champion Rams, could rarely put enough people in the seats at the Coliseum to get their home games on TV, which was both effect and cause of the reality that they could never break the USC-UCLA duopoly on the hearts and minds of LA football fans. The Rams moved to Anaheim in 1980 and St. Louis in 1995, by which time many Southern Californians had thought they had moved to St. Louis in 1980. The Chargers tried it in 1960, the year the AFL was born. They hemorrhaged the money of Paris Hilton's grandfather so fast that he moved them to San Diego in 1961. It was the USFL franchise, the Express. After 2.5 years of drawing crowds to the Coliseum consisting entirely of Steve Young's family and friends, they actually moved to the stadium at Pierce Junior College in the Valley. Then there was Al Davis moving in from Oakland, getting sued by the league for doing so without its approval, with Davis winning in court. It turned out Al's real idea there was to use L.A. as his headquarters, as he got various other cities in California to give him non-refundable cash just to let them pitch him on moving to their towns. He did this in Sacramento. He did it to an overgrown corporate park called Irwindale, California. He got $10 million out of those poor guys. And after getting some cash out of L.A. to not move, Al moved anyway back to Oakland just as the Rams moved out. And L.A. yawned because, and I was a local sportscaster for 7 football seasons there, while the Rams and Raiders fans were as fervent and as knowledgeable as any in the league, there was no do-or-die mentality. It literally was, the Raiders lost? Damn it. Okay, let's go to the beach. So for 19 seasons, the NFL has not had a team in the second largest city in America. There have been enough rumored franchise moves and proposed stadia at the Hollywood Park racetrack, at a new Coliseum, in the parking lot at Dodger Stadium, downtown, near the beach. Still plenty of room in Irwindale. Enough of those to fill an entire new league. And then there was the fiasco of the lost expansion team of 1999. And now here we go again. I have my doubts, because near as I can tell, the NFL is already in Los Angeles, the way baseball was in Washington all those years, between the Senators leaving and the Nationals arriving. No, they don't play, but they give everybody something to argue or speculate or wonder about, while they watch only the best games on TV on the networks on Sundays and are not stuck watching any losers from L.A. I'll believe it when I see it. The Los Angeles Buccaramdon Charger Express Texans playing at Roger Goodell Stadium.